Hey everybody, I'm Jim Powers, and we welcome you back to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision as we catch up with our coaches this week. And a coach we've kind of let fly under the radar a little bit because they've been so busy traveling all spring long. But after last week, we had to talk to head coach Paulus of our men's and women's golf team. They come runner-up in the GLVC tournament last week. And Glenn, what a great weekend over in Indianapolis for you and the guys, getting runner-up and pretty much solidifying your spot in the regional next week.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. First time ever making match play. First time ever winning a match. Had one of our players, Joey Williams, in the hunt all the way. Had a little lead going into third round. Got caught by a kid that shot 66, but Joey played well that day too. So it was a lot of fun, and it kind of got us back in the hunt there. We had a couple of burps along the way, two events prior to that, but. Didn't hurt ourselves too badly, but this kind of sealed the deal for it. It's nice not to have to wait and sit on pins and needles to see if we're going to get invited. So we were in a pretty good shape there.
You know, Joey has been a great leader for you guys all year, but this team is so deep to where you've got a lot of parts, especially in that 5, 6, 7 position, that you can intermix at any given weekend and still have the guys perform well.
Agreed. We got 4 guys that were pretty much stalwarts during the whole year. The 5 spots kind of mixed around a little bit. We have qualifiers to fill that spot, and I think we've had 3 different guys in that spot this year. So it's nice to have that quality depth. It's something we hadn't had in a while, and it's starting to show up in the scores.
You know, we were kidding with Nick Profancic last week at the student athlete recognition that all his records and all those guys' records may be gone. With the way these guys are playing over the last couple years, all joking aside, they are going to shatter some of those records from some of those great teams you had back in the late 2000s.
It's possible. A couple of them are already down, but every year the kids get bigger and stronger, and it gets better. And if you're not shooting lower scores, you're going to start falling behind everybody. I think there's one record Nick holds that nobody's going to catch. He never played. He played every tournament he played here. Uh-huh. He was in every event, and we counted his score every single time. He had a 100% score counting rate, and a couple of the big guns on this team right now have already had a score thrown out. So I think that one's going to stand a while.
Well, you guys make it to the NCAA for the second year in a row. This year going to head up to Findlay, Ohio, a very good regional field, but not so much the underdogs this year as you guys went in last year. I think a lot of people have stood up and taken notice of the Maryville golf team.
Some of the coaches have come up to me and very complimentary. Looking at the field, there are 3 or 4 teams that are pretty good. Indianapolis beat us pretty soundly in the finals of the conference. Grand Valley State over in the Glyak's a very, very good team. We don't see the folks from the Central Region that often, but I know Arkansas Tech is very solid. But I look up and down the teams that are in that field, and the ones we've played with. So we've got a shot. We're looking forward to it. Going to give it our best.
The course up at Findlay, I know you've probably started kind of looking and do a little bit of homework. What course do you compare that to some of the courses you guys may have played this year, like a Purgatory, a Prairie View last week? What does this course at Findlay shape up to be?
It's very unlike most of what we've played. This course has been around 110 years. Tom Bendelow design, tree-lined, not particularly long. It's got to play about just over 6,700 yards, par 72. Pretty standard there, but tight fairways, holes turn, greens are sitting at angles, bunkers in all the right places. It'll be a test. And talking to some of the teams that have played there a few times over the years, they say the greens are just lightning fast. So those are conditions we haven't faced this year, and not particularly a golf course that we've played a lot on. Our guys are kind of, they like to hit it a long way. They're kind of, I don't want to call them bomb and gouge guys, but if they see any opportunity to pull a driver out, they're going to take it out. So Coach Thomas and I are going to have to, I think, pull the reins back on that a little bit, looking at this golf course from Google Earth anyway. So
A little bit more of a management type course instead of, like you said, you just hit it long, use your short game. This is a course to where, hey, it's maybe good to sometimes keep the driver in the bag.
absolutely, got to get to the right part of the fairway on the holes that turn, and make sure you keep the ball below the hole. And if you start playing out of the rough, you're not in control of your golf ball as much as you'd like to be. So that's where the trouble's going to come in. And if the greens are that fast, generally these old country club courses have a lot of slope in the greens, things like that. So if you start missing greens and you're above the hole, that's you're just going to be making a lot of bogeys. So that's what we got to avoid.
Awesome stuff, Glenn. Well, good luck next week. We'll be following along back here in St. Louis as you guys go for your second straight regional appearance.
We're looking forward to it. 2 in a row. This time, like you mentioned, we're not going to go out there just to have fun and show up. If we play our game, we've got a shot, and we're going to do the best we can.
Awesome stuff, buddy. Good luck next week.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
Glenn Paulus joins us as always, and the men's golf team will be playing in Findlay, Ohio next week. We'll be able to follow all the action on our Twitter feed at Maryville Saints. Also, we'll have a link up on the website that will connect you right to the live stats. You'll be able to follow along as our men's golf team makes their second consecutive appearance in the NCAA Regional Championship. For Coach Paulus, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week, and as always, go Saints.